Hi, my name is Lee Nagel, and this is iwanttoberiich.com. Today, we're going to talk about the topic of talking about money with family. And this is the Christmas season, December, New Year. Whether or not you're celebrating Christmas, there will be a time when people come together, eat, and meet family and friends. And this is sometimes also the great opportunity to bring out the topic about money. It could be because that you might be sharing expenses soon, especially in the care of your parents, or you have a sibling who has run into some financial problem. And we all know that COVID has brought about a whole new set of mental wellness issue. I wouldn't say illness, but and that can be reflected in our buying habits and the way we spend money. So a lot of times we might need to have an updated conversation about credit card debt, personal finance. And today, this video, we're going to talk about how we can bring that conversation to our family and friends that we want to without feeling too awkward about it. So let's get right into it. The tip number one that I wrote on my blog, iwanttoberiich.com, the article is about how we can start. And I always advise you guys to, like what I do is talk to a stranger. It's not risky, or talk to your therapist about it. If, say, for example, if you have a sibling who has been, once again, in credit card debt, and money problem, I always mention, is the root cause of your inside. So if you don't feel well inside, you don't feel good about yourself, it's gonna get reflected with your money. And sometimes you feel great inside. It's also about how much money you earn. If you earn very little money, it's very easy to get into debt because you just simply cannot pay for your day-to-day expenses. Or if you have someone who earns a lot of money, an aunt, an uncle who is very well off but still get into money problem, you see, spending money in our relationship with money is not always because of how much we earn. It's because how we feel about self, and we go out there to buy things to fill up a black hole that could never be filled because you feel empty about yourself. And let's face it, in America, the advertisement is just incredible. It makes you feel inadequate the moment you walk out, or even if you don't walk out, just watch YouTube. Right here, there are advertisements that tells you how you only be great, or you only be good, you're only a good mom, you're only a good sister, you're only a good person, you're complete if you buy XYZ. So that's tip number one. Talk to a stranger, offload it, and just sort of structure your thoughts. Second tip, I would say, when you want to bring out a topic softly, and I did this with my sibling. It was horrible because I was judgmental. I went in like everyone would do. Why did you do this? Why did you overspend your credit card? Without a drop of sympathy. And you don't want to be me, because you totally would ruin your relationship with your sibling. Sometimes you don't want to do that over money, because always people first, money second, things last. The way to do is to buy a course. Yes, it's so much less shame if this person can go into a course online to learn about money, to write down. Also, is a really good precursor to the conversation, because then you know how much money they own if you really want to dig into it, or a financial coach, or get a book that they might want to read, or maybe they don't want to read. But the thing is, it starts the conversation, and you can say, hey, have you read the book? I'm reading the same book. So buy two books, one for you and one for your sibling, or one for that family member you want to talk to money about. Have you read the book? And what do you think about it? Are you open to talking about money? And then start the conversation. The thing is, we're told that if you talk about money is rude. Of course, you also want to pick the place and the time, because there are certain times when family just sit down together, eat, relax. Let's say on a Friday, you don't want to talk about money on Friday. It's very stressful. So select the right time and the right place. There's never the perfect time or the perfect place for it, but there are good places to start talking about money. The other thing that you want to do when you talk about money is don't be judgmental. Don't be the I am better than you, I am the better sister, because that would put the person in a defensive position. You don't want to do that. You want to be soft about it, and I would say I would go about as a good listener, because then the person can really confide in you and lay out all the problems. Unfortunately, as a family, you will always have people who will want to borrow money from the family member who has done well, and there will be family members who continuously cannot manage this money. At some point, you won't be able to help this person by just giving money. You need to perhaps offer some help to find the root cause on why this person couldn't cope. Maybe this person has grown her or his family, and kids cost a lot of money, or this person fell into illness. But not everyone is so fortunate to find work that they want that pays well. So be a little bit sympathetic in that. But if you don't want to be a position, or you're not in a position to be paying off this person's debt, you need to think about who can help this person, because financial distress is a cause for suicide and mental illness and mental unwellness. So you want to make sure that this person is in good hands, and this person has an outlet to go. There are hotlines that you can call and discuss. Not always throwing money at the problem is going to solve it. Fortunately, as a family or as a group of friends, there are conversations that if you have them early and have them properly, which is why I wrote the article, have a look, it will really help you keep that relationship. Another topic that I talk about money is not just with family but friends. So friends, we come together because we were ex-colleagues or ex-classmates, but people move from different places, from different financial background, up and down. Some people move out a lot because of their marriage, because of their work, because of how they behave, because of inheritance. There are many ways people got richer, and there are friends who just decided that I'm done. And it doesn't mean that if you have the money, you have to live like that. There are people who just Warren Buffett hasn't moved his house or car for many years. I know many billionaires who don't change their watch. So there are people who just wake up one day and decided that I don't want to go to this fancy restaurant anymore and pay $300 a night and still have to make a crazy reservation in New York City to dine there. I just want to eat at home. So maybe just talk to your friend and say this. Hi, my situation have changed. As you know, recently I blah blah blah. I'm just wondering if you're open to having dinner at my place, doing potluck, so that it's just more affordable for me. I can no longer keep up with those restaurants. I love to go there, but they might offer to pay, and that's some of the, I don't know, it's not a nice thing to do, because sometimes people like to feel independent. They like to feel like they're not being paid for. So you want to give room to this friend so that they don't feel embarrassed about their financial situation. And remember, the most important thing is that people come together, have meaningful conversations. That gathering of human beings is beautiful, which we couldn't do during COVID. That is what's the most important. Focus on what is most important. It's not just the food or the ambience or the environment or the fancy restaurant, but the people around you, and having a good time together doesn't always cost a lot of money. So what are some of the conversations, tough conversations, that you think you might need to have with your family or friends that you are afraid to have? Comment below, so that what are some of the best conversation tip that you have about money that went very well, or what are some of the worst money conversation that you had that maybe terminated your relationship, about how you view your money. Money, it's sensitive because it attaches to our identity. We identify as a person based on what we consume, what we wear, and what kind of brand we are, based on how much money we have in society. That's why money is such a difficult topic to talk about. Be very sensitive about it, but I suggest that you take those conversations bravely, with courage, and do it nicely, and still do this conversation early so that you don't let the situation worsen. Let me know below what are some of the conversations you have, and this is Lee Nagel signing off. Thank you, and see you in the next video.